Hi, everyone. It's Brenda from Lympha Press, bringing another amazing, uplifting, inspiring story with someone who's using Lympha Press to effectively manage their conditions. And Amy Vasquez has lymphedema, lipedema, and Durkheim's, but you're going to be inspired because she is living life to the max. So, Amy, thanks for agreeing to be with us today.
Oh, thank you so much for having me on.
I love the fact that you sort of felt like we knew each other because you've
I
been
know.
watching our interviews.
I know, I do. I really do feel like I know you much better than you probably know me.
Well, I'm excited for our viewers to get to know you better. So, on one of our online ventures, I had said, if you have a story that you'd like to share, please contact me. And you did. Tell me where your journey begins with getting a diagnosis.
Well, something I've always known something was different since I was in my teen years. I was a gymnast. I have Ehlers-Danlos and I was hyperextensive. So I was an awesome gymnast as a young child and did really good until I hit my puberty years. And all of a sudden my thighs started to be filled out, no changes in what I was doing, very active. So we just kind of chalked it up. In my family, most women have very large thighs. My mom, my grandma, my mom's cousin actually had my grandma make her special clothes because her waist was so small, her hips are so big. There was nobody, and nobody ever said anything to us. And so, I was a dancer, I was a gymnast, and so I've done lots of exercise over the years, but nothing would ever really get rid of the bulk in my legs. And then, it started creeping up into the buttocks, and then I have some other health issues. And due to that, we believe that it also exacerbated the lipedema and Durkheim's disease, and now it's migrated up to my arms. So I have arms, upper legs, lower legs. With the Lympha Press, my lower legs don't even look like I have it anymore. They're a little bit, they're not skinny calves, but I can put on boots that are a little stretchy, and I can see my after I do the Lympha Press, I can actually see my shin bone. So it took me a long time to get a diagnosis. I didn't get officially diagnosed until 2018. I kind of knew. Go ahead.
Well, my question is, so you started noticing the signs in puberty.
Yes,
All your family had sort of the signals, but we figure that's just our family. But
exactly.
you're telling me it wasn't until the 2000s
Yes.
that you actually got a diagnosis?
Yeah.
All that time you're just thinking this is just the way it is?
Well, yeah, and I have another condition called Cushing's disease, and that actually led me to this diagnosis because I saw endocrinologist, I saw my doctor, I saw weight management, I went to a nutritionist, I have other autoimmune diseases, so I put those in remission by eating a very clean diet. On a very clean ketogenic diet, mostly meats and veggies and good fats and other proteins. I've lost weight, but my legs never lost weight. And then I got Cushing's disease, and they kept telling me calories in, calories out. And so I've seen actual weight loss clinics through, not just kind of fly by the night, but actual professionals. And nobody ever mentioned it to me. Nobody ever checked me. It was crazy because even in the weight management clinic, they never had me physically kind of undress and check and look at me. They just said, oh, you're eating too many calories. And I'm like, really? And my husband even went with me and said, no, she's not. I see what she eats. And they're like, well, you must be eating at night and you don't know it. But we didn't even have stuff like that in the house, and to eat that many calories, you'd know that there's food missing. And so I just kind of gave up, and then my mom found out about the Cushing disease, and then in one of my groups, I was having a hard time getting diagnosed with Cushing's because usually legs and arms are extremely skinny, and they kept telling me, you don't have it. And so somebody mentioned, hey, have you looked at lipedema? So I went on to Dr. Karen's website and then on to some other, and guess what? I saw my legs, I saw what was going on, and I'm like, I know I have this. And then I found out about the Durkheim's disease, which I have had also since I was very young. I had these lipomas, and everybody was saying, oh, they don't hurt, they don't hurt. but mine did. And so I've lived with this since I was 13, and I am now 59 years old. And so, it's been a long journey, and I feel so bad that hopefully by sharing my story with other people, using the tools that I'm using can get some relief. But also getting diagnosed, I think, is so important. The earlier you can get diagnosed and get these treatments, the better off we're going to be. And so I think my daughter has it, and my granddaughters, have some signs of hypermobility. So I want to make sure that these are, standard treatments and that was the other issue. Took a little bit for my insurance to actually cover my Lympha Press when I finally did. So I just want to make sure and get the word out as well that there are treatments. Some of the ultimate goals could be to have surgery, but even if you have surgery, I understand the Lympha Press is just, such a great tool, because it's going to be a lifelong, management of this.
Yeah, exactly. You're so well spoken, and I'm sort of so impressed by your story, but your resilience. I mean, you have several things going on here: the lymphedema, the lipedema, the Durkheim's, the Cushing's, and yet you strike me as such a positive person. You don't sit around and have a pity party, do you? Or do
Well,
you
there
sometimes?
might be a couple of days, but I feel very blessed that I can get around, I can move, and I know there's so many people that can't, and I just really feel that I've been put here for a reason, and if I can help somebody else, that's great. But if I just sat around, what kind of life would that be? So I do push to make sure that I can do whatever I can do and enjoy, and be every day I wake up and have a gratitude for another day that I have. I've got beautiful family, and it just I guess I've always been that way. If something's not going right, you still just kind of push yourself, move forward. I know there's certain points where people are in so much pain that they can't do that, but as long as I can, I want to keep moving and to be productive.
I'm so glad that we connected. And I have heard this phrase: what you focus on grows. If
Yes,
you
exactly.
focus on your problems will grow. If you focus on your gratitude and appreciation for your blessings in life, those too will grow. And it seems like that approach to your life has been a key. What did it feel like when you finally heard maybe
Mhm.
this is lipedema and saw yourself?
Oh, it was a relief, actually. I know some people say, "Oh, how can you be relieved you have a disease?" But I had a name for what was going on with me, and knowing what was going on, then we could take action. We knew, there were things to do. So I saw, several different doctors that did confirm the diagnosis. I worked with uh, um, multiple, and so it was a confirmation, and I guess validation that I knew something wasn't the same as other people, and this wasn't my fault, that I wasn't eating secretly at night. And so there's a name to it, and so having that name, I could research, and of course I had to watch all of Dr. Karen's YouTube videos. And I'm one of those type of people, if I know something about it, I feel much more comfortable and confident because you understand all the aspects of it. So
What
I
does Dr. Karen Herbst, mean to you as a member of the lipedema community?
Well, she's kind of a beacon, I guess, that she sheds a lot of light for us. And that was, listening to her. I wasn't able to get in to see her at first. It took almost 2 years. And then I had an appointment with her right when she left her clinic. And so a year later, I did get to see her. I live in San Diego, and I was able to get up to see her up in LA. So I did meet her in person, and did see one of her nurse practitioners before. But she just, for me, is, even if I didn't get to see her, all of the videos she puts out, all of the work she's done and shares with everybody is amazing, because I started out right away taking all the supplements she recommended. I was already doing keto, but I tightened up on my carbohydrates, and So when I met her, she's like, "Oh, you must have watched my videos because you're doing everything." There were some tweaks, of course, that she could recommend, but I was doing a lot of the things. So I think even if you can't physically go see her, looking at the videos and watching those can be such a great help, because so many of the things you can just implement yourself.
Yeah. Yeah, that's so well said. So I want to talk real quick about your Lympha Press. So you finally then were diagnosed, and then ultimately you were prescribed a Lympha Press. When you finally got it, is it easy to use?
Oh, it's so easy to use. I do work from home, and I guess a lot of people are doing that now. And I literally can work. I can sit on my sofa, or I sit on the bed, put it on, and I work while I do it sometimes. Or I might in the evening, if I didn't get a chance to do that, if I was on a conference call, kind of wondering what the noise is in the background. But it's so easy. I was really worried kind of about the getting it all zipped up, but it's very easy to get on and sit, and you can do work or watch TV or relax, meditate, but yeah, very simple to use.
So which garment do you have?
I have two legs. Unfortunately, my insurance would not prescribe the both legs or the pants, so I only got the legs. But what we did find out is it is working, because it pushes a lot of fluid up into my upper abdomen, excuse me, up into my upper abdomen and the thighs. So I do get MLD, or manual lymphatic drainage massage, once a week to kind of help move that around. And I do use a vibration plate. And so trying to do other things too to help. But, talking to Dr. Herbst, really would like to also get an arm garment. And so that's what we're working on right now.
Well, I'm rooting for you because I have heard great results. One of our patients, Kelly Maynard, has the Lympha pants and the Lympha jacket.
Yeah.
And she is seeing this full body therapy that is making such a dramatic difference. But I think you are a shining example of someone who said, okay, I have this, I'm going to manage it. And I'm going to live my best life. So with our final moments, what would you say to encourage someone watching out there that may be a little overwhelmed by their diagnosis?
Well, you take it one piece at a time. So if you're overwhelmed, at least now you have an action plan. You know that you have a condition, it has a name, and you can take action. So doing little things at first. Maybe it's a diet change. Maybe it's adding in some supplements. Maybe it's starting to try and do a little more work, walking. Maybe it's, getting the Lympha Press right in, getting that working. A lot of people I've seen too with like a vibration plate. You don't have to stand on it. So if you can't stand, do whatever you can and just try and move a little bit, even if you're sitting in a chair. I went through a lot of some rehab, and they taught us to actually sit in a chair, and you can do exercise. So, just move a little bit more each day, do a little bit more each day. And, don't take a no for an answer with some of these things. Push your insurance companies, fight for you, because nobody else is going to fight for you, and your life is worth fighting for.
And that is a perfect note. Your life is worth fighting for. Amy, I'm so grateful to have had the chance to connect with you. I'm so glad you are part of our community, our lipedema community, and we'll keep the conversation going, and we will continue to link arms with those of you out there. If you want to know more about Lympha Press, please reach out to me, bviola@lymphapress.com. And how can people follow you, Amy?
I'm on Facebook. I'm on Instagram a little bit. So I'm Amy Vasquez on Facebook, and on Instagram. I'm not an expert there. I'm trying to. So those are two places and I'm in a lot of the lipedema groups as well.
Wonderful. So if you see the name Amy Vasquez, this is the story behind this beautiful woman. And I thank you, Amy, for sharing your story today.
Thank you.
Have a beautiful day.
You too. We both have sunshine today, so.
Yes, we do. We have sunshine and yellow shirt.
And yellow, that's right. We didn't coordinate that.
No, this was not planned. There were no memos given. But thank you all for tuning in to this edition of the Lipedema channel. We'll see you next time.
Bye-bye.